Okay, hello everyone. This is my second take on this. Just recorded the whole thing without my mic on. So let's get at it. This is Harry, and this is my analysis of an online speech example. The mode of communication in the video we're analyzing is synchronous communication, meaning that people are communicating with one another in real time. Some positive attributes of synchronous communication are real-time interaction, which helps people socialize, build relationships, and clear understandings by being able to see the person they are talking to and hear their tone of voice. This reduces misunderstandings that happen through text or emails, especially in today's age where we're texting and emailing pretty much constantly. Another positive attribute is the fact that people are likely to stay focused when they're involved in synchronous communication because they need to participate with the other people they're talking to. And this, they're good example. I mean, this isn't a good example because this is an asynchronous class, but in synchronous classes, people are supposed to, they have to stay focused pretty much. With like, I remember in COVID with breakout rooms and stuff, teacher would come in, you have to answer questions about the material that you're covering, and a lot of times people would just like leave their camera off, stuff like that. And that prevents that from happening. Um, Now some negatives of synchronous communication are pressure and nerves. If someone is possibly caught up in a question and they feel like they don't have enough time to form their best answer, they may have to say something that isn't correct, or they may not give their best answer that they could have given if they had the time just to think about it. Another example of a con of synchronous learning is, or not synchronous learning, synchronous communication, is that technology is not always reliable, and this causes issues with meeting times and people getting into synchronous meetings like over Zoom and stuff like that. Okay, now I'm going to talk about rhetoric. Rhetoric, in simple terms, is using language effectively to communicate, but it is too complicated to put into that few words. I looked through the modules and it was kind of hard finding something that I could orally cite and talk about having to do with rhetoric, but the last quote on 1.1 was the quote from Bizzle and Herzberg, which stated, "Rhetoric has a number of overlapping meanings: the practice of oratory, the study of the strategies of effective oratory, the use of language, written or spoken, to inform or persuade, the study of the persuasive effects of language, the study of relation between language and knowledge, the classification and use of tropes, figures, and of course the use of empty promises and half truths as a form of propaganda." So it's basically just using communication in all ways possible to get information to people. And I mean, propaganda is a big example. That's a massive form of communication, almost like it's been throughout history, propaganda has been used in a variety of ways. So that's pretty much all I have on this speech. Thank you for listening, and hope everybody has a good day.